All right, y'all, welcome back to another Big Buck Blueprint. We don't cover many deer this big. 236 inches of antler from Illinois. We've got Andrew Potthoff on today. We cannot wait to get into the details of this one. This podcast is brought to you by Legendary Whitetails. We appreciate them for being a partner. Let's go ahead and get into this one.
Come on, I mean, you think of that. I mean, that's what you think of. Boy, give me 5, boy.
All right, Andrew, we appreciate you for getting on today. We've got this mega Illinois whitetail we're going to talk about. Cannot wait to get into this. But how you doing today, buddy?
I'm doing great. I mean, we're freezing up here in Illinois. We got a whole bunch of snow. Yeah. But we're having a good time.
I'd rather have snow than wet, nasty, just cold. That's what we got down here. And then when it's cold down here in Alabama, it's freezing. Whenever it's wet, it's got moisture in the air. But I would love to have some snow right now. That would be pretty freaking sweet.
Oh. Yeah, we're like we've got like a foot, and like it's kind of a weird time to have that. Usually, we don't even get snow until like December. Late December.
And where you
for Christmas?
And where
you're at? Usually don't even get it for Christmas.
You're in what, northern Illinois, correct?
I'm right on the Illinois River, north central Illinois. Yep.
Okay.
You bet.
That's some big deer, and I can see the wall behind you there, just megas back there, man. You've got a wall full of them. And I know you've
been at it for a while.
I know you've got some history with Buckmasters. I know your family there. We've always kind of known of Buckmasters and have heard of Buckmasters. We appreciate you guys for always supporting, and it's really cool to be a little South Alabama company to reach that many people around the country. Is really, we're blessed and thankful for that, and we appreciate you and all your family and everybody like you. Your support over the years. But this is what it's about, dude. Sharing big deer. That's why we created this podcast, is share big deer. And actually, your deer come to my attention. We get deer sent in all the time through Messenger and Facebook, and I see them on social. That's really our main source. And then, we get some deer, hunters email their deer in, and they're like, "Hey, man, I got a cool story, heck of a deer, and I look at them, and you see your big ones on Facebook, on social. And I got an email, and I'm like, just going through, looking at them. And I look at all of them. I promise I look at all of them. And I was like, what the heck? Where did this thing come from? We never get emails of big deer like this. So 236 inches, I said that right, 236.68 inches is what this thing went.
That's right.
And when I saw it, I was like, got to do it. We got to cover it. So we appreciate you for getting on today, Andrew, and can't wait to get into this thing. But first off, tell us a little bit about yourself, if you don't mind.
Well, I appreciate you having me too. I mean, it's an amazing deer. It's something I've worked for my whole life. And Central Illinois, there's big deer everywhere in the Midwest and everything like that. But I've worked very hard for it, and I've worked, throughout the Midwest, and even into Kentucky. That's actually where I've kind of cut my teeth in hunting.
Right.
So it's kind of hard to find property around here to hunt when you're just when you don't have millions of dollars and you're a blue collar guy. You got to work for it.
Yeah.
And I've worked very hard to find properties to hunt around here, and I haven't always been able to hunt here. I've had to go out of state to hunt, actually, in my own home state, so it's not the easiest thing in the world.
Right.
And, but, as of late, I've been able to harvest a lot of really nice deer. And I've been very thankful for that.
That's awesome.
It's been a long time coming,
Yeah, so. I know that's a once in a lifetime whitetail, dude. And I'm just curious, like who got you into hunting, man? I mean, have you been hunting your whole life?
Oh, yeah. So basically it kind of started out when I was a young man. My dad gave me the gift of the outdoors. And I mean, I think that's the best thing you can give anyone,
Yeah.
If you take, you take this experience, that everyone wants of this 200, whatever, this mega giant, this dream, right, that everyone has. And everyone has it, And you take that and you put it on a table, and you put my first experience of hunting, on the table, of my dad carrying me across a creek,
Yeah.
in Illinois, freezing your butt off. You got your little Rocky boots on, keeping your feet warm, and it's just been a great experience. It's something that, I think as outdoorsmen, we should pass on to, other people. Great, big bucks is a cool thing. Right. But like the outdoors is a better gift, for me personally.
It is.
I think, if you can pass that on to other people, I think that's the most important thing. But I love big bucks.
Yeah.
And I could talk about that all day long. So, yeah, I started out with that, and my dad, Dennis, and my uncle Dan, and it'd be Tom and Bill. Those are the people I hunt with today, and those are the people that got me the properties to hunt.
Right.
They didn't have to put up a little snot-nosed kid. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But they did, and I appreciate that from them.
Yeah.
And everything I owe is to them. So
that's so good.
They got me into that, and basically what, Illinois is a pretty hard state to hunt.
Mm-hmm.
So, it kind of goes into, there's a lot of pressure, a lot of ag fields. If you can't get a combine in somewhere, you know what I mean? Like that's where you hunt, basically. So everything's an ag field, or it's somewhere they can't get a combine into.
Right.
And so, you got beautiful properties and all this stuff, but there's a lot of people that want to hunt, and not a lot of space to do it in some places. So that's kind of pushes people out of the state a little bit.
It's one of those states that hit when whitetail hunting really just hit the boom. I don't know what year it was, but Illinois, that's all you see in here,
Yeah.
And I know that's kind of essentially somewhat hurt your state in ways. But, when people hear Illinois, and they hear you talk, it's difficult, and they're probably thinking, man, it ain't difficult. You're in Illinois. No, it doesn't matter where you're at. You can be in the best county or the best state, but depending on what property you have and what neighbors you have, it can be difficult.
Yeah.
And the hunter, you're the one who's putting the boots on the ground there, you're the one who speak to that. And if you're saying it's difficult, I believe it. And for you to say you killed that there behind you, I mean, that's a testament to what you're able to do and your discipline. But but dude, yes, and please, I just really want to touch that about the snot-nosed kid. Like, y'all, that's what it's about.
Yeah.
Like,
Exactly.
we get people that send in all kinds of deer. But the main ones I love sharing and I love showcasing are the kids. I mean, because that's our future, and we've got to take care of that, and we've got to bring them up and show them that this is the life that you could be living and really, I believe, need to be living, rather than a phone in front of your face or rather than, this video games. I mean, dude, this is it. Like, this is tangible. This is God-given. This is what he gave us to enjoy. And it's so testament to what these podcasts are, just covering these, like you said, I'm not a millionaire. I don't have all kinds of money. You're a blue-collar worker, just, man, getting it done, and you've got a 260-something inch deer behind you, man. I mean, that's what it's about. Right. That's it. So, but thank you so much for touching on that, because I love that, and I really, that's what Buckmasters has been about their entire, company, years of 40th year coming up on this next year in 26. And that's why I'm so privileged and honored to be here to work for this company, because I used to be that snot-nosed kid too, who used to watch Jackie Bushman and Buckmasters. And,
oh yeah, for sure. I grew up on that. Yeah, man, exactly.
And that's why I said thank you to you too earlier, because I mean, you're the consumer. I'm the consumer. Even me, I used to be just full on. And like buying the Buckmasters hat, and I know I saw the picture you had of your dad's Buckmasters hat. I mean, stuff like that. That's what's grown this outdoor industry and helped balloon it into what it is. And but I appreciate all of that, man. Great words said. So enough of me chatting. This is supposed to be about Andrew, so let me shut up and let you talk. But let's get into this thing, dude. I want to know, so your property you're hunting here, how many acres is it? It's private, obviously. But how many acres you got there?
Yeah. So it's private property. It's probably about 250 acres. So within that, there's probably about 10 people that I know that hunt that property. Okay. Wow. So my buddy got me into that property. I'm a guest of a guest, right?
Wow.
So basically, you know, we're sectioned off. So
Mm-hmm.
I'm restrained to what I can do there, basically.
Mm-hmm.
So we kind of hunt each other. We put stands up. We kind of hunt each other's stands, but it's a beautiful property. But we are surrounded. I'm telling you, surrounded. Welcome to Illinois. You know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
So you're surrounded by the people that are hunting there, and I'm more than thankful that, you know, people let guys like me in on their property,
right,
and they're not worried about the money. They've got their own money. They
mm-hmm.
can do whatever they want. You know what I
Right,
mean? But I'm very thankful. Like I said, like I was not able to hunt Illinois for the longest time. You know, and now I've got several different places that I can hunt. So
mm-hmm.
I'm very thankful for that. And it's taken a lot of time and a lot of work to do that.
Yeah,
And so yeah.
I was going to
So,
say
yeah,
that's a
it's,
good chunk of land too, but I mean that's enough to do.
Yeah.
If y'all are all on the same page, that's enough to do what you want to do to keep and retain
Yeah.
deer, though, too. You know, so that's nice.
Well, yeah, that's nice. But like I said, so it's 250 acres, but there's 10 other
That's
people
challenging,
that hunt it.
real challenging.
So I'm sectioned off. So let's call it 30 acres.
Yeah,
You know,
yeah,
I don't mess around. You know, I'm thankful that I'm respectful of everyone. Right.
right.
And I think, you know, you see a lot of people sitting on property lines, grass is greener on the other side.
Yeah.
That's just not the case. I've never sat on a property line in my life.
All right, guys, we'll take a quick break right there and talk about our partners over at Yamaha. They've actually been one of our longest running partners. Going on 30 years we've had them, and we can't thank them enough for putting their trust in us at Buckmasters, but also we put our trust in them because of their units and what they build. We've taken their units just about all over this country, and they perform outstanding. If you want to check them out at your local dealer.
And, you know, I put in the work.
Right.
You know, every
That's
day.
awesome.
Every day I consume content, and I've done that for years of my life. You know, I don't really run too many trail cameras, but I'll move one around here and there.
Yeah.
Most of the time I try to find a deer, and then I'll move it. I'll see some sign or something like that, put it on a good scrape, you know, and then I'll put a camera there for when I'm not around. But a lot of times I just use my own eyes, you know, and I use my experience and growing up with, you know, and being brought through with older gentlemen that have been through it, you know, like that's what you do.
Yeah.
And, you know, times are changing, right?
Yeah,
so,
totally, man.
You know, there's, and but also that 180 that I shot in Kentucky, now I'm 6 hours away. I threw a lot of cameras at that guy.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's 2 hours, you know,
Yeah.
or 6 hours away. But like 2 years of my life, you know, I spent chasing that guy. So that kind of ties into this deer. So basically, you know, in Illinois, I've shot some really nice deer, and when I get to focus on one, I focus on one, right? So like everything else goes out the window. I'm focused on one deer until it's done.
Awesome.
And I've been pretty lucky to actually harvest every deer that I've been after. I mean, I don't know how many people can say that. I know that's also a little bit of luck. You know, they didn't walk in front of someone else's stand. They didn't get EHD. They didn't get hit by a car.
Right.
So I've been pretty fortunate in that. So I've been able to harvest some pretty nice deer over the years.
That's awesome.
And so yeah, it kind of starts in like 23. I do my research, and now I'm after this deer in Kentucky, right? So everything else is out the window, right?
Yeah.
So I harvest 2 deer the first 2 weeks of opening bow season in Illinois, right? Done. I go into the next year, 24. Harvest a deer the first week. We go into the second week, I harvest a deer. So as I'm tracking my second deer for 24, I'm walking out into a field, and I'm in the woods. I shot him. So I'm walking out there, and I just turn over, look over my left shoulder as I step out in this field, and I see this thing.
No way.
I'm telling you, know, like, you want to talk yourself into, like, when you see a good deer, you know, like, oh, that's amazing deer.
Yeah.
Like, I've tried to talk that 180 into being a 200-inch deer, and he just wouldn't do it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
He just would not do it.
Yeah.
so now I know, you know what I mean? Like,
Yes.
I walk out there, I'm like, wow, that's something, right? And I'm looking over, and what am I going to do? I'm out of tags.
Yeah.
The season's over.
That's hard.
My mind's on this deer in Kentucky. So I track them, this deer, I'm just like pointing at him like, you're next, buddy. You know,
yeah, I'm
and
getting you, son.
he's just standing there watching me. I do my thing. I go on. So, and like I said, heavily pressured area. Right? So I throw up a camera and I get him. He's got a nice drop tine on his right side, you know, looking good. And it's October at this point, 27. I get a picture of him. And then it's like a couple weeks later, I get a picture of him again on a scrape. I just go over natural scrapes is what I like to do. And I tried the rope scrapes and all that stuff. It's good. It works. Yeah. But not like for those big mega giants. Yeah. I haven't had much success. Maybe I'm doing it wrong. I don't know. But so I get him on there, right? And it's before shotgun season, all that good stuff. So I'm like, I don't see him, right? So I've shot this big deer, and I'm like, to be honest with you, I'm a little burnt out. Like I've been chasing this deer in Kentucky for 2 years. I want to sit back, relax. I'm figuring this deer is gone. To be quite honest with you, I'm figuring he's gone. You know, there's so many hunters around there, so much pressure. How do you escape that? You know, it's a hard thing to do as a deer, I would imagine. And so then we go. That's the last picture I see of him before our first shotgun season. And right now we're in our second shotgun season, which when we're done, I'm out of here. Right. I'm gonna go hit a stand. It's freezing cold up here, but I'm gonna do it. You know, so yeah, I think he's gone. I don't run too many cameras or anything like that, but I have one. I'll move it around, you know, right. Whatever. And so I think he's gone. And then the summer goes by. I throw up a camera usually like about July-ish. You know, I throw up another one. Nice deer, not him. Definitely not him anywhere, right? And you know, that he's
drop time too. I mean, you knew about that, so it was. You're looking for that. Yeah, it's probably pretty obvious,
right? Yeah, you don't see those every day, right? So that's pretty good indicator, right? So I don't see any of that kind of stuff, and I'll drive around the properties and stuff like that and look in glass and do all that kind of stuff, and I don't see anything. So, so time goes on. We're in the summer. I have nothing. I'm fine with that. I've chased this deer in Kentucky for 2 years. I'm ready to relax, and then I hear from the property owner that they found a really big deer dead. You know, and we had kind of a little bit of a drought in the summer and everything, and I didn't get a picture of him or anything like that. I'm like, well, that's probably if he's dead in the shotgun season through the year, well, he's dead now. You know what I mean? So I figured he's dead. It's over, whatever, and that's fine with me. So. But I carry on and I go out there and the big thing that I've noticed is like my biggest deer that I've been able to harvest is the kind of, if they're not on your property. So like I just said, the deer that I've shot 4 deer in the first 2 weeks of the season. I'm not out there every day, right? So you can pattern, right? You can pattern them pretty well. If you do your homework and you're into it and you do your homework, you can get that taken care of. But what people then they kind of think like, oh, they're gone now. Okay, the rut's on, they're gone. So like you missed your opportunity. Okay, but also they're gone. But other deer are coming from other areas, right? And they're coming in your property as well. So I've killed my 2 biggest deer by realizing that, and it's taken me 38 years, you know what I mean? So it's taken me my whole life to realize that. And so, like, if you ever are out there and you get a picture of deer or you see them with your eyes and you know that they're not around, they'll come back. And I'll bookmark that. I'll bookend that day. Like, okay, he's there on November 6th, right? So I'm going to go the 5th, I'm going to go the 6th, I'm going to go the 7th, and he will be there, as I've found. I don't know if that's for everyone but it's worked for me. So I was going one way or another on this date. So I go out there and actually this is my buddy Stan actually that I shot him out of. So
sorry, buddy.
Yeah. Thanks, Louie.
Yeah. Appreciate you, man.
So, yeah. But he could do the same.
Yeah,
you
he
know,
hunts
we
your
kind of
spots,
like have our own
exactly.
spots and everything
Yeah.
like that. After you get a deer, you know, you kind of go wherever. And he already got a deer. He got his best deer the week before, right? So
Awesome.
out of that same stand.
Awesome.
So yeah. So as I'm pulling this deer out and helping him with it, I'm looking around. I'm like, man, this deer did not make this sign. You know what I mean?
There's
This thing's
something
ripped up
bigger in here.
everywhere.
Yeah.
Time to get my camera and move it over here. I'm like, hey, do you mind? He's like, no, I don't mind. So I move it over there. It took a while, but like I got a picture of him coming out of this area, and he's walking away from the camera, and I just see his drop tines, and it really didn't do him justice. It really didn't. I'm like, I know this is a good deer. I'm going there anyway.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So I pop it. So I'm going to go out there. The next day, I had planned to go out there, and they're harvesting at this time. Okay. So as they're harvesting, I thought they were done. Right. They were not done. So they're harvesting right by the stand I wanted to get into, you know, that day that I went out there. So I had to sit back. So I sit back, kind of like, I'm just jonesing to get in there. And they got it done before the sun went down. I snuck into another stand, trying to look, across this field and everything. Didn't see them. I don't even know why I did that. I should have just left, you know. Yeah. But, getting the angst, I want to go.
Yeah.
And so I leave. So I go back the next morning. They're done. I get in there, and it's crystal clear morning.
Mm-hmm.
It is, the moon is out, full as a moon can be. It's like daylight. So I knew this. So I'm like, all right, I'm going to get in there good 2 hours before I need to get in. Let things calm down, you know. I don't know how else to do this, right? So I get in there. And mind you, I don't know how big this deer is at this point. I just know he's got a couple drop tines, which is good enough for me.
Right.
Good enough for me to get up at 3 a.m. You know what I mean? So
totally.
I get in there, and nice and quiet, run a few deer off the field. You got to do what you got to do, right?
Right.
And so I get in there. I'm sitting there. I hear this thrashing around, like early in the morning. I'm like, it didn't even sound right. It didn't sound like a deer scraping anything. It sounded like something I've never heard, like maybe like a moose, what I mean? Just like raking, how they do that, they get the scapula and they rub it against a tree. It was kind of like that. And I've never really experienced that before. I'm like, this is kind of weird, you know? And then, so I'm sitting in the timber, but like I'm looking at a grass field, and to my right is an ag field. Okay. And so there's a grass field in front of me. I'm in timber. To my right is an ag field. Let me try to explain this. And to my left, it goes down to a creek. And that's our property. And then a little bit further than that is another ag field, which is someone else's property.
Right.
Well, there's a little finger runoff that comes out of there. There's some trees and stuff. So he's breaking along on that. I didn't know this. Okay. But you can, like I said, you can see, I saw another deer walking probably 250 yards away. I'm like, oh, that's a nice buck. Right. I can see deer around me.
Right.
Like it's pretty bright, but like as you're looking in the woods, it's not as bright as the field. So he comes up, and right before he's in the grass field, and right before he hits the pick cornfield, I throw my binoculars up, and all I can see is this drop line hanging down. I'm like, holy cow! All right, here we go.
Yeah, he's
in the neighborhood. We're here.
Yeah,
we're ready to roll. And I'm just I start shaking.
Oh yeah, deer of that
so he
caliber.
Takes off. Yeah, he heads out into the pick cornfield. And I'm just thinking, there's so many stands around. There's so much pressure on this property. There's so many people around. I'm like, someone's going to crack at him before I do. You know what I mean? Now, this is like in the middle of the week, so maybe they're all at work, Some people got to take off, like myself. I'm going to take off for that.
Yeah, Screw work.
So, yeah. So I have this camera set up behind me. So I'm in this field line basically of timber, grass field in front of me, grass field behind me, cornfield to my right. He goes out into the cornfield, circles around the timber, and hits the other grass field behind me, which is about 200 yards away. Okay. And then he hits my camera. And this is the first time I really get a good look at him. I mean, I get a good look at him. I got it on video, all this stuff. And he's
Sweet.
walking up, and he's like a moose, like going
God almighty.
just like walking like this. And I pause it. You know, I finally get it. So it's like not good cell reception. So I'm like hitting it a million times, like I'll burn this battery out today, you know. And mind you, so like this is my vacation, so I'm off, right? And this is the first full 5 days I've ever actually taken off of my life. You know, I'm 38 years old.
Wow.
And I put in a lot of hard work at work and in my life and in the whitetail woods, you know.
Yeah.
Like those are the three things I do. And
this is one to take off. This is one to take off for. Yeah. I would have definitely took off for this one though, dude. I mean, this is worthy of. I'd about lose my job over this one. I'd hate to say, but I mean, this is whew.
Yeah, exactly. So I already have this time off, but this time off is not for this deer. This time off is for me and my family and my friends in Kentucky.
Right.
So I'm going down for rifle season in Kentucky that day.
Yeah.
So I get a picture of this deer, and Cody, I'm telling you, I saw this picture. My hand started shaking. All right. I started shaking. The tree stand started shaking. You know, I bet you if you were there on November 6th and you had a glass of water on that table, that
shaking.
whole thing would have started shaking.
Yeah.
You know, throughout the earth.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Oh, like yeah, dude. It's one of those.
Yeah, it was something. I'm like, Dad. So I get on the phone. I finally get a hold of my dad. I'm like, hey, I have something really special here, and I'm trying to send this picture to him. I can't get it. I'm sending a million times, right? So he finally gets it. Goes, oh.
Yeah.
Like, he's like, I'm not going either. Yeah. He's like, I'm going to sit here and wait until you get this deer. I know you can get it. And I'm thinking in my mind, like, you know, it's a wild animal. Like, you're going to be sitting here for a while. You know, he has all the faith in me, you know. So anyway, so he's saying he's going to stay, you know. And so I'm planning out this whole week of how I'm going to try to hunt this deer, right? Mm-hmm. So I know that where he came out, where he went in, and I have these two pictures of him early in the morning in this other little patch of timber that's behind me, you know, 200 yards, right? So I'm thinking like, all right, Andrew, remember what's in there. How do we set up on him? Mm-hmm. You know, because you got a long road to, you know, I'm going to sit there every day.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Until we get this done.
As
long as I'm off work, I'm going to sit there every day until I get this done. And so as I'm planning this all out, you know, I'm looking around, I'm like, all right, well, I'm in this stand, you know, maybe I should get down. You know, I don't know if he's in another county, but at this point, because he's heading the opposite direction of where I saw him. Mm-hmm. You know, the camera's behind me, and he's walking the opposite way of where I saw him. And, you know, so I'm like, all right, let's get this prepared. Let's get ready for a long week of hunting, you know. And so I get down, I start trimming trees that should have been trimmed a while ago. Let's face it, that's what's going on.
Yeah.
So I get down, trim a few trees, go over, put up a camera, la-di-da, you know.
Yeah.
Just cutting stuff down. Get up, take a look at it. Oh, that looks nice. How about over here? Get down, cut that down, get back up. Looks good. All right, we're good. We're good for this stand. All right. Yeah. So it's about mid-morning, about 1:30, which I'll be honest, I kind of get down. I get down, take a little break, come on back. You know, I don't put many all-day sits. Right. I really don't. And that's going to change.
Yeah.
That's definitely going to change. I'm learning some lessons here. So I get back up in the stand. So, you know, my girlfriend's oldest daughter who's getting into hunting and stuff like that, which is a great thing. Like we went out and got our first deer together, all that stuff. Great to pass it on. I'm excited about that. Mm-hmm. Well, she says I don't really rattle or anything like that. I just don't. And I haven't had too much success with it. Well, she sent me this video on like rattling and all this stuff. and I forgot my grunt tube, which I've never had success with, on all these deer. I've never had one of them come into a grunt tube.
Right.
I don't know, people have had success with that, more power to them, but I haven't. So I get out my rattle bag that I had in there that's been in there for 20 years. You know what I mean? Dust it off, and I get going on it, I get going on this thing, and all I'm trying to do is thinking that he's 200 yards away. Maybe he'll hear this.
Yeah.
And maybe when he gets up, he'll change his mind on which way he's going.
Right.
Maybe he'll come to me. Right.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I'll get a shot at it. Well, so I start rattling, and I go about a good minute or so, and I'm looking. Mind you, he's behind me, so I'm standing in this tree stand, hugging the tree, looking around, expecting him to come from right where he went.
Yeah.
Well, I hear, I'm like, there's some pretty good sized squirrels in Illinois. You know what I mean? There's some pretty good sized squirrels in Illinois, and they're always messing with me.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, that can't be right. I hit it again. He came up exactly where he came up. Oh, no, I'm sorry. He came up closer from where he was in the morning. So where I was down, trimming all these trees, messing around, trying to get good shooting lanes for, the big week ahead of me.
Yeah, yeah.
He was bedded right there.
No way.
I would bet you, if I had a bet, he was bedded 50 yards away from me the whole time. He did a big circle around and bedded down right where I was. And
you were facing the other way, so you weren't really thinking he was coming from that way.
Yeah, and so like I said, there's a grass field in front of me, a grass field behind me, and those are the only two ways down to the creek, right? So he went up where I was in front of me, 50 yards away in the moonlight, that's the man, right? You know what I mean? Like, he'd stand there, not shooting light, and this is the biggest deer you've ever seen in my life. Let him walk out of my life.
Right.
And he's just heading to other stands and all this. Hits that camera, must have went down to the creek and just did a big circle and just bedded down right where I originally saw him.
That is crazy.
And so I'm banging away on these antlers, right? And this rattle bag, and he's right behind me this whole time. He's right there. He's been there the whole time.
Do you think he was there when you trimmed? I mean, there's no...
yeah.
Holy cow.
It's real thick. It's real thick. Like, he couldn't have seen me at all. He could not have seen me. So, like, I do believe that he was there because he was there like that after I rattled. So, like, I think he did a big circle, 200 yards, did a circle, bedded down, just like maybe in the creek bed down there.
Mm-hmm.
And it, like I said, it's a gradual way up, to the field, basically.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So there's only a couple ways down there. And he went up it and went down it, and then he bedded right to go back up it maybe in the afternoon,
mm-hmm.
And so I rattle. Thank you, Riley. Because otherwise I don't think it would have worked at all. So I owe everything to Riley on that one. So I'm doing that, and he comes in this little pocket, right, that I just trimmed, by the way. So it wasn't a waste of time. Wasn't a waste of time at all, Cody. So
golly.
He stands there, and I just have this perfect shot, and he's rubbing his back legs together, peeing on him, doing the whole. He's looking for a fight,
Yeah.
He's looking for a fight, and he's looking out into an empty field, right? So I know he's not going to give me this perfect shot.
Mm-hmm.
He knows that nothing's out there. He's been fooled, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's going to double back into the woods. I shot him, and he just, did a little jump, scattered off about 10 yards. I'm sitting there like, man, did I hit him? Or did I shake myself into like an oblivion?
Yeah, no joke, man.
Yeah, so like usually they'll do a mule kick or any
mm-hmm.
of that. I hit him. So I get down, I look at my arrow, and there's like corn on it, on the fletchings and everything. I'm like, uh-oh, we're in trouble. And I heard like a little crash, but he's got, like I said, it's real thick right there. So I thought maybe it was his antlers pushing through or
mm-hmm.
something like that. It wasn't like a thrashing or anything like that, like one spot. It was just like real quick, like,
mm-hmm.
and
Consider this your call to Alabama's Black Belt, home to some of the best hunting and fishing anywhere in the country. Whether you want to hunt deer, turkey, quail, or are looking to hook that trophy bass, the Alabama Black Belt's world-class outdoor recreation is second to none. If you want to take a break from the woods or the water, choose one of the premier golf courses on the Robert Trent Jones Golf Trail. If you're searching for your next outdoor adventure, look no further than Alabama's Black Belt.
The longest half hour of my life just to get down to take a look at that.
Yeah.
So I call my dad. I'm like, hey, I shot him. He's like, joking around, right? I'm like, sorry it took so long.
Yeah, no joke.
Like, I guess we can go to Kentucky now,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? So, yeah, so I get down and I look at my arrow. So I got a little nervous with, like, I thought I got shot on him, but there wasn't, like, there was a lot of blood and everything. So it was real weird. It, like, went in perfect, right behind his shoulder, but it skimmed out right behind his back leg almost.
Yeah, I had a good
on
angle.
the other side. So, yeah, but he didn't go 20 yards, and I walking through the thicket, and I saw him laying there. It's just like a monster.
Man.
So the first thing I do is I call my dad. I finally saw reception and call. I'm trying to send all the pictures and everything to everyone. I call my dad and my girlfriend, all these people that know me and know how hard I work for these guys. These moments in my life. And my dad comes out, gives me a big hug. We had a good moment there. And, something you work for your whole life, and it's just right there in front of you.
Yeah.
And it's just an amazing thing to experience. And, very thankful that, I had the people that brought me out there and, took the time with me. And I think that's important that, we take the time with other people to do that.
Yeah.
So, like I said, you have these experiences in life, and you think like that's the most important thing is this big buck.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone around me is like, that's what's important.
That is, man. That's so important. So well said. And then, I have that 236. You obviously what you've got. That is once in a lifetime. You can't kill that free range.
Exactly.
That's so hard with your bow. That just doesn't get any better. Let's see him. I've been watching him. eye him. Can you pick him up? I want to check this thing out.
Oh, yeah. So, a lot of pictures. It's hard to get a good picture on him.
You might have to lean back, get out of frame.
The mass on this side. I don't know if I'm giving you a good picture. I can't really see with my phone, but
that's perfect, dude.
And right here, he broke off his G2 right at the base.
Wow.
So like he would have another giant antler right here.
So
and
he's essentially he probably lost at least 10 inches, 12 inches there.
Oh yeah.
So he could have been a 240. It could have been like a 246.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Wow.
He's close to 240 already. So you knock off a massive, G2.
Yeah.
That's and I'm going back and forth, so I don't know. I'm not good at scoring deer, but you start getting like split bases and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I'm not real good at that, but he's got like
little flyers there, kickers, that
you can't see, and all that kind of good stuff. So yeah, he's everything you want in a deer. You know what I mean? And I took him to Macomb for like the Buckmaster scoring and everything, and Macomb's a very good area in Illinois to hunt. Like the Golden Triangle over there, like Pike County and all that kind of stuff.
Right.
And I went to Crooked Creek Outdoors, a bow shop basically.
Right.
Good old boys in there, And this guy made me feel really good about the deer. He was like, and from coming from that area, he scored a lot of really good deer, and like he's like, man, this is like one of the biggest deer I've ever scored in my life.
Says a lot. Yeah.
So like it really put it in perspective for me on like what I really have, and what I've really accomplished.
Right. Totally.
It's an amazing thing. And I never thought like I would ever. I've put in the work. Like there's no doubt about that. I've definitely put in the work, but they have to exist also.
Yeah, totally. And then it's like luck It is a certain balance. I mean, luck is definitely there. Buddy, your buddy, what was his name? Your buddy that lets you hunt his stand.
Louis?
He needs to be
Yeah.
your best friend, like buddy for life at this point.
Oh yeah, whatever you need, bud.
Whatever you need, bud, I got you, man. Come hunt my stand anytime. But dude, I mean, everything, the stars have got to align, but you've got to do everything right too. And I mean, again, if you hadn't have gone down and trimmed those bushes, those trees right there before, I mean, probably might not have had a shot. You know, I mean, if you hadn't have picked up your rattling bags, might not have had a shot. It's 1,000 wonders.
Exactly.
I still can't believe. The most astonishing thing about this story is how you didn't spook this dang deer whenever you got down, if that was the case. I'm assuming the wind was probably pretty heavy during that time too, though. Probably had to have been.
What's that?
Was the wind pretty heavy, or was there some sort of something to cover your sound for whenever you got down? Because that is crazy.
No, it was very calm. Actually, the night before, like when I said I was sitting back,
Right.
It was very windy that day,
Yeah.
and it just shut off. It was like it just shut off, and it was calm, clear, no wind. And honestly, when he was I'll throw out like milkweed. I don't mess with anything else. I don't do any other scent stuff. I've tried it all, right? There's no secret to this. It's just get downwind of them.
Right.
That's all you need to do.
Yeah.
Get downwind of them.
Totally.
Because I don't care what you do. In my opinion, I don't
Right.
know. Maybe someone's got some secret sauce. I don't know
Yeah.
about that. But in my opinion, a deer will beat you every time if they're downwind of you. So this deer came out, and I'm telling you, I've been throwing milkweed, and it was just, I could have landed one almost maybe on his nose. It was right there.
On the line.
So it was like just off wind. And I found it like a lot of my big bucks, like a lot of people want to go and play the wind and go the opposite of the wind. I found like if you just get off wind of them, that's the best thing to do because they're very confident in walking into the wind.
Right.
So if you can just get off to the side of that somehow, you can find those big bucks doing that.
That
You
is
know
a
what I mean?
great.
Though they're walking in the wind.
That's a great point, man.
Yeah. So that's little. It's like all those little things over the years. It's almost like I don't even think about them anymore.
Mm-hmm.
It's just like I just go out there and do at this point in time.
Yeah.
I feel pretty deadly in the woods now,
Yeah.
and
That's awesome.
but it's taken a long time to get there. It's taken my whole life, to get there, and
Mm-hmm.
I've put in a whole lot of work, and I don't know how you do it any other way. I just don't know how you do it.
That is awesome,
But
dude. That
one
is
good
so
run
cool.
in front of you too. That's hunting. So one good run in front of you, you could get lucky on that.
Well, man,
And that's what's great about hunting.
I can't thank you enough, dude. Heck of a story, man. I mean, that's one once in a lifetime whitetail. Those drops and flyers and kickers.
bet.
I mean, that right there is so awesome. 236-inch whitetail. I mean, that's it.
Yeah.
That's it, dude. We appreciate it, dude. I mean, is there anything else you want to share with the audience listening today? Just anything else you want to kind of share with them on your knowledge of hunting and stuff? Is there anything else?
I think the biggest thing is like a lot of times I find myself in the woods by myself, late in the season. And I put in 365 days of work on that, and I say work, I'll use that term loosely. I love it. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
So like I'm always engaged with deer hunting. And in one way, I'm just always involved in it. I'm always thinking about it. And whether it's one deer or the other, it's just such a great thing. Just being in the outdoors. It's not even chasing big deer. It's just being outdoors, and you're going to get an opportunity if you're out there.
Totally.
A lot of people there's a lot of content out there. There's a lot of things you can look at. Don't get overwhelmed with it. You just need to go out there and experience it for yourself,
Mm-hmm.
and you'll figure it out. And
Right.
you'll find out a lot of things are not what people say it is. And you just need to experience it yourself, work hard, put on your boots when no one else wants to put them on, and get out. Like right now, it's like 5 degrees is a
Oh,
high
my
here
Lord.
right now.
Wow.
I bet you we're not going to find too many people in the woods here tonight,
Nah.
but I'll be out there. You know what I mean? So like, I think that's the difference. It's how much you want it. And
Well,
and I wanted a lot.
And
So,
learn
yeah.
from your mistakes. I mean, and just you always can learn something. I mean, just everything you said about what you. I mean, there's a lot of things I always give away. There's always takeaways from these things, and I definitely think you shared some for the audience. I think I learned some stuff, but I mean, to be able to take the deer that you have on the wall behind you, to be able to take a 236, you're doing it right, man. And then not only just in like, it's not like I'm in Illinois. You're in Kentucky. You're in Illinois. You go to different states, and you're doing it in
Right.
different areas. So, and then 250 acres with 10 or 11 people hunting that same parcel. I mean, dude, that's hard. I mean, that's really hard.
It
So
is.
congrats, dude. That is awesome. Can't thank you enough for sharing your story.
Well, I appreciate you giving guys like myself a platform to,
Yeah, man.
tell these stories, because, guys like us are getting out there and doing it. We are doing it.
Yep.
And, some of us are doing it bigger than people that have all these manicured properties.
Yeah, totally.
And I don't think they want to see us coming on.
Exactly.
Some of them don't want to see this, but it's the truth, and it's the, it's
real.
an amazing thing that you can go out there in the United States of America and go out there and do this every day.
Totally.
And I'm proud to be a part of that. And it's something that we need to pass on, and I'm thankful for it.
Awesome. Well, thanks, Andrew. I really appreciate it. And
Yeah.
that concludes it for another podcast. I hope you guys took something from this one. I did. I loved it. Appreciate you talking to Andrew today and sharing your knowledge of this, and I hope many more in the future. But that concludes it. We appreciate y'all for watching. Thank you again, Andrew. We'll see y'all on the next one.